What's up, everybody? So we just had the end of New York session, end of the week. It's Friday, and I want to go over some of the trades for the week and what we're setting up for next week. I think it's going to be pretty solid. So I've been highlighting the yen pairs. Unfortunately, hit a stop loss today on GJ. Of course, I was looking for a pullback right here, right on this 200 SMA, and we didn't quite get the follow through, but that's all right. That's all good. Still, because we're setting up more for a bigger trade on the hourly time frame, and what I'm looking for here is identifying the trend, and this is super, super, super important. If you don't have an overall market bias, so to speak, that's a problem. So identifying what your bias is and then trading around that bias. In other words, NZDJPY is just a great example here. I mean, look how bearish this is, right? And so a lot of traders, and I used to do this, really get in the habit of trying to get these bounces. But what we want to do, and what my whole system is and how I have it laid out here, is looking for these pullbacks and getting in. I mean, that's a 300 pip trade. So we're looking for opportunities for entries on these pullbacks using the Romomentum, using my strategy, using the indicator, and getting in on these trades. You can see here, pull back to our envelope, but we have it set up. You could have a decent size stop loss and still, get some really, really good risk to reward here, whether you're looking for these former lows. Now, I'd highlighted CAD yen a while back ago because we had broken down, and if you go back a little ways, you can see we'd broken down out of this triangle formation. So this was a previous short that we had on CAD yen. And once we really broke down out of this triangle pattern here, so what we did is we identified the price structure, the market structure here, right? Standard triangle pattern. And we have a nice breakdown off of this. Here's another one, but this is a continuation. We broke down, retested this bottom of this trend line, and now we've broken it again. And I think we're really this is on the 4 hour. We may come up and retest these highs. It depends. But this is a 4 hour time frame. If you go to the daily time frame, we're just now, and this is a great look right here, especially in terms of, talking about structure. If you were to look up, I mean, God, this is almost like textbook would be the word for sure. If you wanted to look up breakout and retest, or break down and retest. Now this is a daily time frame. So if this is our breakdown and our retest, now we can backtrack going into, here's the 1 hour time frame. Man, we are in a prime position for a move lower. So now the way we're using the Romomentum, the way we're using my strategy and indicators in the accelerator is looking for these pullbacks and then trading off of those. So now that I've identified the market structure, I've identified on a long-term time frame what's going on. I really like the top-down approach of this, because now I can really see it. If we get the follow through, and I really think we are going to, there's CAD yen, Swiss yen looking even more bearish. So I'm looking at these on some of the on the daily here. These almost look a little more like they might bounce from where they're at now. CAD yen hasn't even broke down, right? So like you can see here, we've already had this breakdown. Just using Swiss yen as an example. And this is why it's so important to establish your bias early. Establish your bias. Euro yen's not quite as neat. Honestly, looking at it this way, it looks like we've just now starting to retest. And then I can work my way across the different time frames. And this is going to set us up perfectly for a pullback on the Romomentum here. And but you know, the setup hasn't quite manifested itself. I think we're going to push up into this area where we have this nice little order block. But the point is now I have an established way that I'm looking for the market. And this is, like I said, Friday. So now that I know what it is that I want to look for going into the next week, and this is going to really translate over into a risk off scenarios for, I mean, UJ's just now getting started on this pullback. So some huge setups here. Now we just have to see if we can get the follow through. I think we might retest somewhere around this area on UJ, 129.75. Right here into the supply zone. And so now I already know exactly what it is that I want to look for going into the rest of the week, or to start out the week. And when I make my watch list and my hit list, which is something I go into more detail in the accelerator, but I go into it on the academy training too. And that just really gets down to knowing what it is that you're looking for and then trading around that. Euro pound, I really like this setup too, especially if you go over here to the 30-minute. We're just now getting started on a breakdown. You can see I'm targeting this liquidity down here. Bam. And we're really just now getting started on this pullback. Now you can see it really well in the 30-minute. And my indicator completely highlights this, and really you can follow it super methodically, especially as you're going along and really looking for your entries, being patient, and then also your exit. So that being said, it's going to be a big week next week. These moves on the yen just now getting started. And if you want to trade these live with me, if you want access to my indicator and to really finally have a step-by-step checklist, things you can follow, mentorship, one-on-one training, click the link below. Let's make it happen for you. Have an awesome weekend. We appreciate you, and see you in the group. Peace.